Just then, I saw him walk into the bar area. He spotted me immediately and smiled. "I thought you wouldn't show up," he said. I said nothing. My throat felt dry. I followed him quietly to the reception desk. Instead of collecting the key, he started asking questions. "Which rooms are free?" he asked the receptionist. "The standard rooms and the VIP suites are available," she replied. "What about the VIP?" he asked. "How much?" he continued. 100,000 per hour, the receptionist said. 100,000, he exclaimed loudly. "That's too expensive. I want something simple, something cheap. I just want to satisfy myself and leave." Those words cut deep. In the end, he paid for the cheapest room available. That was when it finally sank in. This man had no respect for me, no value for women, and no conscience. I felt small. I felt dirty. I felt like I had fallen so low, descending cheaply for someone who didn't even see me as human. I was a married woman, standing in a place I never imagined I would be, all in the name of saving my marriage. Tears burned in my eyes, but I swallowed them. I had already gone too far to turn back. He just had to have his way with me and I save marriage. At that moment, I suddenly realized how inferior I had become before him. A man I once respected now stood before me as someone I could barely look at with dignity. Luckily for me, I never told him that the father of my son was my houseboy. I would rather descend to the level of a houseboy than be associated with a doctor who had completely degraded himself before me. That realization broke something inside me. I felt hurt, insulted, and terribly downgraded. When he tried to move closer to me, I pushed him away sharply and walked out through the door without looking back. My heart was pounding, and my legs felt weak, but I refused to show fear. He was furious. Later that day, he decided to call me, not knowing I was already back home with my husband. His intention was clear: to intimidate me and remind me of the hold he thought he had over my life. This same man had already collected $1 million from me, and was still looking for a way to benefit from my husband's wealth. He wasn't even ashamed of himself, knowing fully well that I was a married woman. As fate would have it, the strange number rang while I was sitting beside my husband, my sweet darling who trusted me with his whole heart. From that day onward, my husband seemed to have made up his mind to try even harder to give me another child. He humbled himself and became more patient, more prayerful, and more determined. He treated our son with so much love and care. That boy was his pride, his joy, his proof to the world that he was a man. To him, our son was everything: his heir and his legacy. You don't tell a man who believes so strongly in his only son that the child is not his. Some truths are too heavy to carry, and even though honesty is important, there are times when silence feels safer than destruction. The truth may be bitter, but sometimes it is better concealed than revealed. Then came the call I had earlier mentioned. Without knowing it was him, I picked the call. Hello madam, this is Dr. Richard speaking. Dr. Richard? I replied, pretending to sound calm though my heart skipped. I hope you are doing well. Yes, madam. Please, can I speak with your husband? Is he at home? Unfortunately, my phone volume was loud, and the room was quiet. My husband could clearly hear the conversation. I quickly tried to control the situation. Oh, doctor, hope everything is fine, I said quickly. You know I'm even planning to come see you again for more instructions on how we can keep trying for another testimony. Please don't think I'm not doing my best. My husband is here with me. Let me speak to him, he insisted, his voice firm, almost commanding. I handed the phone to my husband, my heart racing. Sorry for disturbing you, sir, the doctor said politely. No problem at all, my husband replied. You can always reach out anytime. Thank you, sir. I was calling to inform you that I have something very important to discuss with you. Is it concerning my wife and me? My husband asked. Yes, sir, the doctor replied. It has to do with both of you. Is it good news? My husband asked eagerly. Well, the doctor paused. It's something your wife needs to do to increase the chances of you both having another child. Since I know you're very busy, please ask her to come and see me. She will bring the report back to you. If you say so, doctor, my husband replied calmly. All right, sir. Kindly hand the phone back to her. My husband was not suspicious at all. The doctor sounded professional and convincing. But behind that calm voice was a man without ethics or conscience. I took the phone back. I was explaining to your husband that you need to come and see me urgently, he said. There is a medical test I need to carry out on you. Please make sure you come early because it may take some time. I understood his message clearly. He was reminding me that he knew my secret and was ready to expose it if I didn't comply. He wanted control. He wanted power. His plan was clear. He wanted to be the father of my next child, gain access to my husband's wealth, and eventually take over my life. But I wasn't ready to hand myself over to such a toxic man. Accepting his offer felt like signing a deal with darkness. I knew I had to act fast or face the consequences of my past mistakes. Telling my husband the truth at that point was no longer an option. The mention of Onyinye alone would destroy everything we had built. So I made up my mind. I decided to go and meet the doctor, but this time, not as a victim. I had a plan. He thought he was smart. He believed he had trapped me and could get whatever he wanted. But he was wrong. I was going to play along carefully and wisely, and then use what I had to silence him completely. He had pushed me too far, and I was done being afraid. As I prepared to see him, my heart was steady, my mind clear. This time, I was ready. When I went to see the doctor, I acted like nothing was wrong. I carried myself as if I had already accepted whatever condition he was trying to force on me. I pretended I had agreed to go with him to his hotel room, acting calm on the outside, but inside me, I knew exactly what I was doing. I wasn't foolish, and I wasn't weak. I had my own plan. He took me to a small, simple hotel room, the kind people use when they don't want attention. As soon as we entered, I told him I wanted to take my bath first. He agreed quickly, already restless and excited, moving around like someone who couldn't wait. When I entered the bathroom, I deliberately wasted time. I allowed the water to run while I stood there, thinking and steadying myself. I knew he was outside, impatient and full of expectations. After some time, when I felt he was completely relaxed and careless, I called him to join me. By then, I had already put my clothes back on. The moment he entered the bathroom without thinking twice, I stepped out quietly, closed the door behind him, and locked it from the outside. Everything happened fast. Before he could react, he was trapped inside. He started knocking on the door, calling my name, begging me to open it. Nobody could hear him from outside, and nobody was coming to his rescue. I sat calmly in the room, listening to him plead and panic. I refused to open the door immediately. Instead, I asked him a question that had been burning in my heart. I asked him what he really wanted from me after collecting the huge amount of money I gave him. His voice changed immediately. Fear took over him. He replied, "I don't want anything again. I promise I will never disturb you. Please, just let me out." That wasn't enough for me. I demanded that he confess everything he had planned, everything he had been trying to do, and how he had been pressuring and manipulating me. Under pressure, he confessed. He talked and talked, saying things I already suspected but needed to hear clearly from his own mouth. After that, I warned him. I told him I could expose everything and make sure he lost his job and respect. That was when he completely broke down. He begged and begged, swearing never to cross my path again. I didn't argue further. I threw the key through the small bathroom window to him and walked out of that room without looking back. At that moment, I felt a strange mix of relief and fear. Knowing this was far from over, I had already prepared my mind for the worst. But peace never lasts long when lies are involved. One day, my husband came home looking furious and tense. The atmosphere around him was heavy, and I could feel it immediately. My heart started racing. I knew something was terribly wrong. I asked him what the problem was, but he only said he was unhappy. Suddenly, he exploded. "Why did you decide to lie to me? You and those doctors are all liars. You tricked me into believing nonsense. Now that the truth is out, I will do what I have to do. I don't care what you think or what anyone else thinks." He wasn't being clear, so I kept asking him to explain himself. Instead, he accused me of pretending and taking him for a fool. I became confused and scared. Something inside me urged me to confess everything, but I knew it was already too late. I decided to stay quiet and let him talk. I begged him to open up and explain what he meant. After a long silence, he threw his bag on the bed and said, "Let me think first. I need to think about what I am going to do next." At that moment, I knew the doctor had betrayed me. I knew he must have spoken to my husband, ignoring all my warnings. My mind raced. How was I going to explain that our son was the houseboy's child? There was no escape anymore. Later, he sent Segan, the houseboy, to call me to the living room. My legs felt weak as I walked there. When I arrived, my husband looked at both of us seriously and said, "What I am about to say concerns both of you, especially you, Segan, so sit down." It was obvious he had discovered the truth. What shocked me the most was how he knew. Segan was the father when I had never said anything to anyone. My heart sank as I waited for what would come next. I was already prepared for him to throw the bombshell. I knew the moment would come when he would finally ask questions and demand explanations. My heart was beating fast, but I had made up my mind to face whatever was coming. I braced myself for the shock. Then he spoke. "I know that this is very wrong," he said calmly, "but it has helped me understand the kind of woman I am married to. You chose to lie to me." Those words cut deep. As for Segan, he continued, "You will either accept my condition or quit this job. I know my wife employed you, and she had her reasons. But today, I want to tell you the truth." At that moment, I blamed myself. If only I had told him everything from the beginning, maybe things wouldn't have gone this far. But when he finally opened up, I wasn't shocked. I wasn't even scared. I just knew trouble had fully entered my home. "I made a mistake," he said, his voice heavy, "and I want to apologize. I got involved with another woman outside our marriage, and now she is pregnant for me. She is carrying my child." My ears rang. "I was with her only once," he added quickly, "and just like that, she became pregnant. I don't understand why you and Dr. Richard have been deceiving me all these years." I felt my knees weaken. "Why would you do this to me?" I asked quietly. "I have never hurt you. That woman is lying to you." "You never hurt me?" he asked. "Of course not. You and Dr. Richard lied to me that I couldn't easily make a woman pregnant," he said bitterly. "Now it has been proven wrong." I was confused and shaking. "Who is feeding you these lies?" Then he dropped the real bombshell. "I was sent a video," he said coldly. "A video of you entering a hotel room with him." I was angry, broken, and pushed into doing what I did. "That same day you went to meet him in that hotel. I saw the video and decided to prove to myself that I was still a man." "Nothing happened," I cried out. "You know that. You are a liar," he snapped. Then he said words I never thought I would hear from the man I married. "I have decided to bring that woman into this house. She will live with us. That is my decision. The reason I invited Segan here is so that he will stay and attend to her needs. Whatever she wants, he will do. Treat her well and serve her. As for you, don't expect any attention from him until her needs are fully met." I felt like the ground opened beneath my feet. He didn't listen to a single word I said after that. He went ahead and brought the young lady into our matrimonial home. The moment I set my eyes on her, my spirit rejected her. Something about her didn't sit right with me. She looked calm on the outside, but I could sense trouble written all over her. My husband was still boiling with anger because of the video that was sent to him. The one where I was seen entering the hotel with the doctor. In his mind, it was clear evidence that I was unfaithful, especially at a time when we were struggling to have a child together. To get back at me, he went ahead and got involved with that woman. And now she was claiming she was pregnant for him. I wasn't completely convinced. How was it possible that after all these years of trying to conceive for my husband without success, I suddenly had a child for the houseboy, and now my husband suddenly got another woman pregnant just like that? Nothing was adding up. Deep down, I knew that woman was manipulating him. So I decided to confront Dr. Richard. I was sure he was the one behind the video sent to my husband. When I got to his office, instead of looking guilty, he was smiling. "What's up?" he asked excitedly. "Are you finally ready for us to take a ride?" "Ride what?" I snapped. "You know exactly what I mean," he replied with a grin. "I am here to ask you one thing," I said firmly. "After collecting my money, why did you still go ahead and send that video to my husband? Now he has brought another woman into my home claiming she is pregnant for him." He frowned. "Which video? And who told you your husband can make a woman pregnant easily?" "The video you sent to him," I said, my voice shaking. "I didn't send your husband any video," he replied confidently. I stared at him. "Don't joke with me. My husband showed me the video of us entering the hotel. I didn't send it," he insisted. "Unless you are trying to escape giving me what I asked for. If not, I will still tell your husband the truth about your son." "Go ahead and do your worst," I said boldly. "My husband has already moved on. He brought another woman into the house claiming she is pregnant for him." He laughed mockingly. "Do you think you can fool me?" I looked him straight in the eyes and warned him. "The next time you see my husband, better run. He believes you were involved with me." His face changed immediately. Fear flashed across it. I turned and left as I walked away. My heart was heavy. My biggest worrying was how to survive under the same roof with the woman my husband brought into our home. He truly believed I was the reason he couldn't have a child when he wanted one. Because of that belief, I couldn't even gather the courage to tell him the truth that Onyeni was not his biological son. If I did, it would only push him deeper into the arms of the woman who had come to destroy my home. To be continued. To be continued in part 5. Please support us by subscribing, commenting, sharing and liking our stories. Please drop a positive review on my page. Please follow this page at Village Fire Tales for more interesting new episodes and stories.